Hello and welcome to another edition of The People's Rose. We are back.
Back and better than ever.
We took some time off. You know, we're
busy.
We're busy. That's the best way to say it.
We had to take care of some business.
We're not full-time podcasters.
We
That's what we
had
had
a
to admit.
sick child.
Right.
Every week is tough.
Every week is tough, and we just needed. It was a pre-Thanksgiving vacation.
Yeah.
We of course will have a episode Thanksgiving. We already got our vacation out the way, so while you're on vacation, you can still listen to us.
Yeah. So when you're like with your family and you're like, I just need a break.
Yeah. Someone's like, hey, you know what? We should turn on something that'll get everybody in the season. You know, it's Thanksgiving. What's something that can make us thankful? Just turn on The People's Rose. That'll really get everybody in the holiday spirit.
It was like you've watched everything, you've exhausted everything.
Yeah.
And then here we are.
Yeah.
You can listen to us.
Yeah. That's okay. That's one way to go about it. But we're back. What is it? We're The People's Rose. I'm Jarrett.
And I'm Brooke.
And this is... You okay?
Sorry, we're coming off of sickness over here.
Yeah, and this is a reality TV podcast. Brooke and I love to watch reality TV. Mm-hmm. And so we started a podcast about it because we had so many shows. We talk about it so much. I said, let's record it and belabor everyone we know with our thoughts and opinions on reality TV. We watch everything on the dating reality TV shows to competitive reality TV shows to drama, weird slice of life reality TV shows, and everything in between. Mm-hmm. And we got so much to talk about. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
What's all happened. One of our actual favorite TV shows, the finale, happened during this hiatus. We did not get to do a season recap on it. We'll discuss, of course, we're talking about Big Brother. We'll discuss that this episode. So much has happened with the Golden Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise. We'll get to that this episode. So much has happened with just all the shows we watch. We've started watching new shows since in this time. We'll cover maybe a little bit of those, if not this episode. But next week we'll cover some of F-Boy Island, which we're caught up on. We'll cover some of Villains. Wow. Actually, what's the name? I think it's House of Villains.
This is extra.
Yeah. Which we are currently getting caught up on. So we've got tons of content, tons to catch you guys up on. So let's get started though with the latest in the Golden Bachelor. We're going to discuss this episode, but let's just, Brooke, give us like a recap of maybe what's happened these last weeks. We had the Woman Tell All episode and Gerry's hometown episode that we didn't really get to discuss. And what are your thoughts?
So I would say the biggest shocker from the past couple episodes has been the elimination first of Ellen. Okay.
Right.
We were just convinced that Ellen was going to win. She went on the special princess date where he bought her the clothes and he took her out on the town. And he just seemed super into her. They seemed like a great fit.
Right. But we did get to talk. Didn't we talk about that though?
Did we? I'm sorry. I should have done my research. Okay. Well, so Ellen left. So then we had, because she left right before Hometowns.
Right.
Okay, so then we had Hometowns. And then we had another shock. Because while they're on Hometowns, several shocks. Gerry told two girls that he loved them. The first one being Faith, who has been a front runner from the beginning.
Right.
And she was the one that in front of their family, right? He said it in front of her family.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, and so it seemed pretty obvious that Faith and Leslie were gonna move on, because Leslie was the other one he told he loved.
Right.
And then he turned around and sent Faith home.
Right.
It was shocking. And he was like, it's like, I feel really, really bad.
Right.
That I lied to your family.
Yeah.
Like, I told your family I would take care of you, and I'm not. Like, I'd take care of your heart.
Right.
So, I just don't know. I don't know if he just got caught up. I'm sure that's what it was. He just got caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
It felt great. And then he still had this time with Teresa to come, and then that was great, too. But ultimately, we felt like what it came down to was her family. Like, she had said, I'm not going to leave my family. Right?
Well, yeah, you're talking about faith, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something we think, but I don't know if that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, because
that was a big part of it. They talked about it during the Women Tell All, but
yeah. Well, because now he had mentioned with one of the girls in the most recent episode that he was like, we'll work it out with Leslie. He was like, we'll work it out. We'll move wherever we need to, but we'll get to that.
Right.
So Women Tell All, I'm usually pretty bored by Women Tell All. What do you think about it?
I thought it was pretty good. It was interesting. You didn't have the people coming in here trying to set up their social media careers.
True,
or at
that's
least not
true.
in the same way that the youngins do. Kathy was there to squash beef. She didn't want to, make it anymore. Her spats with Teresa on the show. She wasn't really there to rehash it. She just said, you know what, she acknowledged it and moved on. Yeah. I thought that was very mature. It was a lot of maturity.
Right.
We got some shout outs from Joan and some of the other, like you said, Ellen, some of the more entertaining women, or maybe some of these women are even in the running for Golden Bachelorette.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting. And I thought the behind the scenes bloopers was, even though it's been 2 weeks, and so it's harder for me to remember exactly, but I remember enjoying those at the time.
Yeah.
So, it was, what I enjoyed the most about it, I think, is that it was an hour long, if I remember, just like the other.
Yeah.
So you don't need.
It cuts the fluff
Some of
out.
those women or those tell-alls they've tried to make, they would show you an hour of episode and 2 hours of tell-all,
right.
and it would just be like, this is hell on earth.
Right.
It would feel like,
it's
even if
we
like the show. So this was way better than that. But yeah, it was nice. It was nice. Now this week though, we got to see, and just some on some of the hometowns, because I guess we didn't get to cover that, did we? Yeah, the hometown dates. It was nice to see them in their element. Faith is a big horse girl. Big horse girl energy. Her family was very protective of her,
right,
and her feelings, but she didn't have any ill will, like you said, of that. Even though that's like Gerry, you're starting to slip up,
right.
And Teresa's family, very kind of upper crust New Jersey was the vibe I got from them.
Yes,
and so that was insight into her personality. And Leslie's family was maybe alternative Minneapolis, a little like. You could tell they had some adventures, maybe seen some different aspects of life that Faith and Teresa haven't. So you got to see the kind of spectrum that these women he had and the options he had.
Yeah.
Going into these final two, Leslie and Teresa, from what I saw, man, I really have no idea where he's going.
I don't either.
And I think at this point in the show that we've seen, he doesn't, because he went into Teresa's date after his date with Leslie and felt really great about Leslie to the point where he wasn't even thinking about Teresa while he was with Teresa, like you said.
Teresa was like, something's off, like he's not really talking. And then in his confessional, he was like, yeah, like Teresa's great. I'm happy to be here, but also I'm thinking about Leslie, and this hasn't really happened this whole entire time.
Right.
So it's just kind of like, oh, yikes, Gerry.
Right. And then I don't know.
Well, okay, so also on his date with Leslie, he, told her she was the one.
Yeah, he did say that.
He was like, you are the one, and we will figure out whatever we need to figure out when it comes to moving. Prior to that, he was like, there's still some questions. Like, she doesn't seem to really know me on a deeper level. And
But okay, for context, before you get too far from it, we have to remember the context. He said the Bachelorette Trista said that you have to find a woman that you, not who you can't, what did she say? Not who you want, but the one you can't live without.
Yeah.
And he said, and I think you're that one.
Yeah, the one I can't live without. That's
right.
the one.
No, see, I think there's a slight difference.
Oh, God.
And I think that's what he might say. So yeah, I'm preparing myself for the whatever, what do they call it? Subterfuge.
I don't think Gerry would do that. I think
he just did it to Faith. He just told Faith, I'm in love with you, and telling her kids I can marry your grandmother and stuff, or her grandkids, that she can marry her, and then he got rid of her. So
yeah, but I think he would own up to it. I don't think he would try to make an excuse like, oh, well, that's not what I meant. I think he would be like, sorry.
I don't think he'll say that's not what I meant. He'll say, you were the one that I said that I was talking about in the context of that quote from Trista. That's what I think he'll say.
Okay.
So yeah, I just, with the waffling that they show happening in the previews, and Gary's just kind of painstaking. I think you saw in the previews, he even says, I think I made a mistake.
Oh gosh,
which
yes,
is
he
like,
did
you
say
should
that.
just don't, if you're listening to the show and you go on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette as the lead, just don't even say that. Even if you feel that you don't want the person you end up with, either way, to be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
So I think he's bought into the Kool-Aid that they serve all the leads and make them think that they have to fall in love with multiple people. And I have no idea. I think he could pick Leslie because of where she lives and his relationship, that she's like, I guess, fun. But then he's got the emotional, deep connection, quote unquote, with Teresa.
Yeah.
But she lives in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Now, I will say, so the date with Teresa started off kind of rocky, but then when they got to the dinner portion, she started talking to him about like her life and her career, and she has had a really successful career day trading, and Gerry was really impressed. Yeah. And then they were bonding over, their spouses have both passed on and kind of their experience with that.
Yeah.
And then the next day he was like, 24 hours has made such a difference, and we're bonding and understanding each other on a fundamental level. Oh, and he told her he loved her in overnight.
See, that's the thing that I think is important. He told Faith, I loved you, but then he sent her home, right?
Yeah.
He told Leslie with that pretty ease, with a lot of ease, I love you, but then we find out that he was like, oh, but I feel like we haven't had any really deep conversations.
Yeah, true.
So
true.
He has held back on really committing to telling Teresa about that love. And he told her family, her daughter specifically, when she asked, Gerry, do you love? And he was the most contemplative about it. He didn't just say, oh yeah, I know. He said, I don't know, because this is different than, he said, the last time I've been in love, and the only time I know I've been in love is with my wife. And I don't know if it's supposed to feel that way every time, because that's what it felt like with her, right? And so I have to really search my feelings and my thoughts to decide, what that means. And I think he's having those deep feelings about what his love for him is going to look like a second time, because he's thinking about that with Teresa. But with Faith and Leslie, it's like, oh, of course I love you. This is beautiful. We have such a connection, but this might be the end of our relationship. I do want to let you know my feelings for you were love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With Teresa, it's like, oh my, this could be it.
That's a hot take. That's an interesting take.
I don't really know though, because he could go either way.
Yeah, I think so too.
But these episodes are only an hour long. We covered it, but it feels like we covered a lot of the same ground that you would get in the normal ones, don't you? Those 2-hour episodes.
Yes, if this has taught us anything, it's that we don't need 2-hour-long episodes anymore.
No.
They are fitting everything we need to see into 1 hour beautifully.
Yeah. It's I know why they do it, because we're gonna watch anyway.
Sure,
so might as well capture 2 solid hours
of course
of ratings for commercials and whatever. But ABC, please, we have things we want to do Monday nights that we can't accomplish during the Bachelor and Bachelorette season because of how long they are. So, well, I think,
and we better just ramp up, because doesn't Joey's season probably start in January?
Yeah, but yeah.
Oh, don't even. You're gonna do the thing you do again, where you're
but you said ramp up, but no, I'm saying like I'm gonna need a break after this ends. I'm not gonna be like, all right, I'm just gonna forget about it
until
when it
January.
starts. Yeah, I'll forget. I'm not gonna ramp up.
Okay.
But that's it. We'll check back in with Gerry in 2 weeks. We're gonna get that thrilling season finale that Jesse is promising. It's gonna be an hour. They're gonna get it done in an hour. So we're gonna have the finale and
that's a good
like
question.
the after show, because I guess that's why they broke it up like this, because we basically got
it's basically only gonna be a breakup and the proposal,
and then the
after show after the
20
final
minutes
rose.
of after show. Yeah. Hope they announce the Golden Bachelor. It might be too soon to announce that, but I hate to phrase it like this. We don't have all the time. These ladies don't have all the time in the world. What? Anyways.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah. That's that. Let's talk. We're for the first time on this pod. We are caught up on The Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah, we are
franchise as well. And we haven't. Who knows when the last time? It's probably been 3 weeks because of the delay. So we've got, and that's 2 hours long. So we've got 6 hours of episodes we haven't talked about.
Okay, well,
we're not going to cover that.
Let's just talk about the highlights.
Yeah, let's start with the framework. What is the couple, or if you can't think of a couple, the person whose storyline you're most invested in so far?
Well, I mean, I might be invested in it for reasons of just like drama purposes, not because I'm like super into it. I mean, I really like the cat. I really like the drama Cat is bringing. And now that everyone's calling her a homie hopper because she's now on her third guy in paradise.
Yeah.
And she's all over the place. This girl is all over the place. Yeah. She's very contradictory in what she says. Yeah. She's also very like, she was with Brayden, right?
Right.
And then I can't remember. Brayden left. No, she left Brayden for Tanner.
Yeah.
And then Tanner left her. And she was distraught, and everyone was like, it's the same thing that happened with Brayden, just in the reverse.
Yeah, so, oh man, I'm just gonna, like Kat, the character Kat on this show, she sucks, right? She's like, but we have to admit, guys, those of us who are, Brooke and I are in our 30s, some are further in our 30s than others.
Yeah, not me.
But we've been watching reality TV for a long time. We've been watching reality TV where you had to VHS record if you would miss an episode, right? So, because of that, we know the Wild West of VH1 dating shows and early, before social media and influencer fame, where people got on and let their true, unhinged personalities unleashed on the world.
Right.
Kat... And watching Villains has reminded me of this.
Yeah.
Of people who acted like this. Is what you want and need from a reality show.
Yeah.
In the confines of the show, she's not punching anyone.
Right.
She is yelling and bullying people.
Right.
But she's just dating on the beach, which is what they're all supposed to be doing it. But she's doing it in a villain, entertaining way.
Right.
And a good show needs that. If Bachelor in Paradise was just everybody gets, linked up day one and they all stick with the same people and are faithful and they all, have a happy time and leave, no one would watch.
Right.
So You're right. I agree. As much as in the moment, I don't even want to say it's like love to hate because I don't really hate her and I don't love her, but it's like to be annoyed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
She's not New York. She's definitely not Tiffany Pollard,
No,
right?
no.
But she brings that, hey, I'm a cat and I know it. And I don't care.
Right, exactly.
Like, I think, like, on this recent episode, she got roasted hard, and she handled it fine.
Yeah.
Like, she was annoyed, but she was like, whatever, and moved on. That's, like, very... Yeah. I don't even think she deserves this title, but it is very Regina George of her.
Oh,
Regina George gets a little mad, gets a little payback, and moves on.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Valid.
And I'm almost talking myself into liking her. I don't want to go there, but you're right. She's a great character on the show, and it's definitely helped the drama.
Another standout character is Olivia, and it's for the same reason in that she is like unapologetically herself.
Yes,
like she is very funny. She's been with a couple of guys.
She's equally delusional, but she's doing the show. She's dating a bunch of guys. Yeah,
yeah, and she's not. It's not ever really her fault, I feel like, that they end. It's just for natural progression, I guess, that they fall out. So, yeah, she just had a date with Michael. Yeah. Seemed to go pretty well. Yeah. I thought there was a lot of chemistry. I thought it was nice.
Yeah, but for Michael, it is tough to be the guy who comes in very, very late, and everyone's just like, you should pick Olivia because
and it sucks to be that girl too, because you want them to pick you because of who you are, not just because you're the only available person.
Right. Yeah, Olivia is definitely my shining star this season.
Okay, shining star.
Oh,
my shining star went home a long time ago.
Right. So, anyways, no, she's really funny. She's really, producers love her. She's had, I think, more screen time and we call them diary rooms, camera interviews with the producers than any other contestant by far. Right. So she really brought the entertainment as well as Kat.
Yeah. Another one, not a standout, but I think Rachel needs to just go. She needs to move on. She needs to maybe look elsewhere outside of Bachelor Nation.
She's a storyline, but almost just like really?
Almost just like you feel bad for her.
No, I don't really feel bad for her because I also do think she enjoys dating on TV.
Well, true.
It's her third time around.
I shouldn't say feel bad for her because it's whatever. It's fine. It's her life. But it's just kind of like... Ugh.
I feel embarrassed for her. I don't feel bad for her.
Maybe that's what it is.
But I mean, I get it. She hasn't really. It's not really anything she's done, but it's. I don't know. When you go on these dating shows, especially the Bachelor Nation world, where they become very cliquey and they're all part of Bachelor Nation and they all meet up with everyone from other seasons and they're all basically in high school again in the popular circles or whatever. You get it, like, do you have a connection with these people? And then, like, kind of like high school, you age out. Yeah. And it's not even an age thing. It's just like, okay, this whole crop of people, it didn't work out with any of these people. And the new people want the new people. They don't want the, you know what I'm saying? Right. The senior who's still hanging around high school party. Or the guy who graduated and still going to high school parties. Like, what's up? Right. Back in my day, we would do this.
Right, exactly.
Like, okay.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's where Rachel's at. And I would be shocked if she gives it another chance on the shows. Yeah. I think this was it. For her. I hope it was it for her.
I think so, too.
Another person who's like, girl, okay, we get it. You want to be on TV. Katie.
Oh my gosh.
What's her name?
Thurston
is thirsty for TV time.
Okay.
We're watching her on F-Boy Island, which she's on. She's a lead on that show, but you know how they did. They brought in a contestant and say, ooh. Okay, what'd you think about her conversation with Blake? What was that?
I thought that there was a lot more to it that we didn't see. I don't think it was as...
I do.
Well, I say this now, but I don't... Okay, it seemed like there was probably more reconciliation that we didn't hear, is what my initial thought was, until the very end of the episode when Blake was like, I gotta talk to Jess because I am not feeling love vibes like I have had initially with Katie.
Yeah.
So I guess it kind of did shake him up a little bit, but I don't know, like, talking to your ex of 2 years and still feeling like having feelings.
They were engaged.
Yeah.
It's a lot different.
Yeah.
It's not just, yes, they dated on TV, but they were engaged. They didn't meet up. They didn't see each other when they broke up.
Yeah.
And it was, they hadn't talked. They hadn't talked since. So it is less, I get it. I don't know if he had feelings, but he said he just kind of put it out. It's like a therapy. You're a counselor, mental health counselor.
Please tell me how to do my job.
I didn't say that. I was just trying to relate to you. I said he hasn't reconciled or reckoned with the feelings he has, even if it's been 2 years.
So seeing her brought it back up.
Well, yeah, because he probably and instantly felt not maybe like he was in love again, but like he alluded to, remembered what it was like to love her, and probably instantly was like, I don't feel that way about Jess in the slightest.
Yeah.
And kind of was a sobering moment because that brings back the passion of the breakup and the thing. So I thought it was kind of weird that they had that on TV.
So did I.
I don't know if it was part of their contract as a former bachelorette to release her to CW.
That's just like shady though.
Yeah, and then
to like not talk for 2 years and then kind of ambush him there.
Yeah, but that's par for the course for Katie. She claims it as like not being afraid of awkward conversations, but I think it's like you said, just a little pushy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then to follow that up with roasting him.
Oh my gosh.
With her poor stand-up routine, Katie. You know what? Actually, Katie, you're actually better than some comedians out there. So actually, I'm not gonna roast you because you got up there and tried. But
listen, I don't think roasts are ever a good idea. I think feelings always get hurt at roasts. But it was kind of funny.
Well, okay.
Some of it was kind of funny.
Let's talk about the roast. The roast is spectacular. It was heavy hitting. There were some people that genuinely didn't like the other people.
Right.
And there were some things said that was genuinely hurtful. But it's a roast, so those get thrown out the window, right?
Oh my gosh.
I thought it was a very well done roast. I thought it was a great move by the producers in the later part of the season because it can get really boring to stir the drama up.
Yeah.
So they have done that. They have done a great job of stirring the drama up and accomplishing that with the roast. I think was a good way to go about it. I don't remember the specific lines, but Kat took some heat. She took it well. Jess took a lot of heat about her age.
Yeah, but that's pretty.
But she's 24, right? And there's other women on the beach who are 24. I think Olivia's 24 or 25.
I think that was just an easy shot.
She was young when she was on the original season she was on, which I don't remember.
Same.
I remember that she was young then, but people do realize she's like older now, right? And I guess, yes, she's still one of the younger people, but it's like, when you're 16, a 13-year-old is like, what? You know what I mean?
Sure.
When you're 26, a 23-year-old is like, okay, you're in different stages of life, but every year onward, it starts to be 3 years. It's just like, oh, we were in high school together.
Right. I think part of the issue is that Blake is one of the oldest guys and she's one of the youngest girls.
I agree.
So it's just like blaringly obvious.
I agree. Okay, let's get some insight on some of the other contestants. We've talked about all of the, I wouldn't say the major ones. How do you feel because we didn't cover any of the Aaron S. and any of the Eliza stuff, but they are a major couple.
I mean,
they look like they're going the distance.
They're boring to me.
What are your thoughts? Give me your thoughts.
They're boring to me. There was a little bit of drama with his ex. You know, something she had reached out to Charity and Charity's family about what she said he broke up with her to go on the show. Is that what she said? And then she told all of Charity's Charity came on the show, came on Paradise to kind of give the scoop on the guys that these people didn't know because they hadn't watched the season. And so Charity was like, yeah, she even like reached out to some of my family members, which that to me was like a sign that, okay, this girl is doing the most. Like that's to be reach out to family members. That's a lot.
That's crazy.
So, yeah. So then that to me was kind of like, yeah, okay. I don't think Aaron is like in the wrong, but I don't know. It seems like it doesn't seem very deep. Their relationship doesn't seem very deep to me.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's pushing it to be very serious. Like when he, like in this episode, he asked her to be his girlfriend officially, and it's just kind of like, I don't. Is that necessary? Is that a necessary step that people take these days?
I think on a reality show, it's a big step actually because it's easy. Okay, like think of this. When you're with someone in the real world and you connect so strongly that all of a sudden you're hanging out with them all the time and you've meet their friends because however y'all met, you met both friend groups basically immediately. So you're hanging out with mutual friends and stuff. And then they happen to like their car breaks down. So you got to go pick them up at their parents' house. And now you've met their parents and you're on week 3, but you know you really like this person. And y'all are hanging out and buying things for each other. And so you've been dating now for 3 months, but no, you never had a like sit down like, hey, are we boyfriend and girlfriend? And that's immature. Then, I mean, not immature. It's not immature, but it's people like that define the relationship. It's like, I guess we are. We've been like that, right?
Yeah.
On a reality show where, of course, we've coupled up and we're dating on the reality show. And at the end of this can be engaged. We could be getting engaged. Maybe you don't want to miss that moment where we're like, oh, will you be my girlfriend?
Yeah.
It's cheesy, but I can understand the want to do it.
I mean, sure.
But what I will say is I actually don't think Aaron and Eliza are very deep. Even I know that it's an edit. We don't get to see all the conversations that they've had. But I've seen enough of them on both of these shows. Her time before on Paradise and his time on Charity Season.
Yeah.
To just be like, what are y'all doing?
Right.
But I will say, when you get in that early couple, where they coupled up like Kylie and Avon did, which I don't have anything else to say about Kylie and Avon. So boring. It was so clearly engineered.
Yeah.
It's so clearly we're planning this.
Right.
And they wanted to be the like, oh, everyone loves this couple. We don't.
Right.
Boring, please. But when you couple up early and there's no drama,
right,
you don't give the producers anything to work with.
Right.
We don't tune into Paradise to see Aaron and Eliza talking about how they're deep. So even if they have deep conversations, they're probably very boring.
Sure.
And we would never see them.
Right.
So I will give them that benefit of the doubt. But even with that, I don't think that they're very deep.
Same.
Well, is there anything else? John Henry, I don't know what he's doing. Kat
John
is such
Henry
a red flag.
is now Kat's third conquest. That's
sure.
Okay. They have nothing in common. They're complete opposites, I feel like.
Right, which, you don't have to have everything in common, but just Kat is just not on a real level, I know I always said I like her as a reality TV character. You would think after seeing everything she's done on the beach, you'd be like, I don't want any part of this. But.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, she was very, not persuasive, pursuing.
Yeah.
She's heavily pursuing him. So
yeah.
I'm sure he was like, yeah, I want a girl who's super into me.
Yeah.
Like, what guy wouldn't want that?
Yeah, I saw on Reddit a lot of people saying that if you didn't get a lot of attention from conventionally attractive people, growing up.
Sure.
I wouldn't know, but anyways,
okay.
You can, when that happens later in life, regardless of their character, you might still pursue them anyway.
Sure.
That's what people were saying. I don't know that to be true.
Yeah, we don't know anything about his upbringing, but
right. So I mean, that's a thought. That's a take that's out there in the universe.
Right.
There's so many people on the beach. Rachel, we covered Olivia, we covered the major couples. Braden, who cares? Although he hasn't been as bad, but he's been very Braden-y.
I'm actually surprised that no one has stuck for him. Because he does seem like the type that, like, once he's in, he's all in. But he's...
Right, but I think that can be... He was all in on Kat.
We didn't talk about the girl who just left.
Right.
After...
And it truly
what was her name?
Who knows? I think it's better that we don't remember. But Julie, maybe. But it didn't even seem like the producers had planned it. They genuinely where is she?
To me, it almost felt like she was having like a breakdown that she did not want on camera. And cause usually, or not even that, but I mean, usually the producers will like follow them and ask them like, what's going on? Are you okay? Are you going to come to the ceremony? And they didn't do that, which was weird. They just showed Jessie going to ask her, hey, we're having a ceremony. Are you going to come? And she was like, she didn't really say much other than, I just don't really know if the connection's there with Braden. I'm a little scared. Yeah. And he was like, okay, we're starting, so come or don't come. And then they show her walking out of paradise. Walking up the steps, walking out. So it was just like... It just seemed so off to me. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it just, she was in and she was out. That's paradise. Yeah. If there's anything we forgot with paradise, clearly hasn't stuck. So, that's paradise. We'll have more for the finale where they'll cover their bases. Oh, she hasn't been a real big part of the show. It's understandable because she has no connection to the universe of the Bachelor Nation people in America. But Sam, we watched her on Big Brother Canada. She was a very important, very entertaining character on her season of Big Brother Canada. Yeah. She went on Bachelorette Canada. Mm-hmm. I mean Bachelor in Paradise Canada. Yep. Which is how she got in the Bachelor universe. She has gotten a little bit of screen time, but I really think Olivia is really filling that funny narrator role. Yeah. That they let Sam sub in sometimes to do. Yeah. But Olivia has taken over that so much. We haven't really gotten Sam, and her and Peter have a good friendship kind of flirt thing going on. Right. So, but we like Sam. Yeah. Even though on Big Brother Canada, I'm not sure we really like Sam, but just knowing her history and knowing she's fun.
We root. It's kind of like House of Villains, right?
Right.
They come back and you root for them.
Right. We actually have watched so much reality TV that the international contestant that they brought on this season, we knew had watched their season prior to the show. We knew who they were. Mm-hmm. Last season, the international contestant that they brought on from Australia. We had seen both of her seasons of Australian TV. Yes. And knew who she was. We are addicted to reality TV.
To be fair though, those seasons that we watched were during the pandemic. When we literally could not go anywhere.
Right. But that is correct. But so many Americans, people on the show were like, who are these people? And we're like, that's Sam.
We're like, how could you not know?
Who doesn't know her? I forgot her name. But the Dutch Australian girl. Yes. We knew her. And both of those, this is what sucks. Both of those people were so good on their shows. Yeah. And I know why the producers brought them. Right. But because they're so insular on that beach. And so many of them, because of Instagram and social media and influencing, already coming to a plan on the beach of who they want to be with. Right. That they're truly not open. That these people just you have the leftovers. Right. I want the producers to cast people that are really just gonna go out there and give us some cat. Olivia.
Cat energy.
Olivia, you know what I'm saying? Even crazy Rachel.
But not in a fake way.
Not in a fake way.
It has to be them, their authentic self.
I do not want any sweethearts. If you feel like there's a chance Avon and Kyle are already just going to hook, just let them do that outside.
Oh my gosh.
I think Paradise could use an injection. And we didn't know who Olivia was, and she's been great.
Yeah, true.
Kat was on Zach's season, and she kind of had a thing there. But I don't know. If she hadn't been on the season, I would have never thought about her again.
Yeah.
But she's been great. Give us more on authentic, genuine, and unhinged.
Yeah.
That is the balance
there
we
we
need.
go.
We have the authenticity and like love story now with Golden Bachelor. Save that for the main show. But when it comes to Paradise, let loose.
Yeah. Down.
So that's your advice for Paradise. We're
advice
going to get in.
for the producers.
Right.
We'll tell you how to do your job.
We're going to get into it now. It's been a drought. We haven't had it in a long time. The people are waiting. They've been anticipating with bated breath for Brooke's Buzz. Brooke's Buzz, the future award-winning podcast segment.
Oh, yes.
Here on The People's Rose, where Brooks gives us insight into her corner of reality TV, as much reality TV as we watch together. Brooke has a whole other lane of Bravo shows and TLC shows that I kind of half pay attention to.
Oh my gosh.
She's a certified expert on. So Brooke, take the floor. Give us what you got. What's going on in the world of Brooke's Buzz?
All right, you guys. I will just say this. The Real Housewives are booming. We have Real Housewives of Miami, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of Potomac, and Real Housewives of Salt Lake City all airing currently. Okay.
Oh my goodness. I feel like you haven't. Yeah, I feel like you actually have been watching all of them.
I watch them a lot during the day.
Yeah.
Like in the daytime.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Okay, so in the news, a story has just broke about how Heather Gay is suing one of the housewives, the new housewife Monica, for not paying her bill to the beauty lab that Heather owns, where she does like injections and stuff like that, cosmetic stuff. But Monica, in turn, is suing Beauty Lab because she says that they gave her botched injections, and that is why she did not pay. So it is drama.
They're also accusing Monica of coming in with disguises and aliases.
Yes. And there was a scene in in one of the episodes where she went out to dinner with her mom, and her mom called her, I think her name is Monica Garcia, but her mom called her Monica Darnell. And she was like, "Why are you calling me that? That's not my name." And her mom was like, "Well, how am I supposed to keep up? You change your name like every other week."
Right.
So people are saying, is that like a nod to like this beauty lab stuff?
Right.
Also, there is a scene that they keep that they keep teasing where they're on a girls' trip and Heather Gay is on a phone call and it's a hot mic moment. I guess she doesn't realize she's mic'd or doesn't think about it.
Okay.
She's mic'd, but the cameras aren't there, and she's just like, you can tell she's in distress, and she's like, "You're telling me it's her? It's been her this whole time?" And the producers are like, "Get your cameras, pick up your cameras," and they like run onto the balcony. And Heather's like, "No, y'all can't film, But of course, it's all recorded and on film.
Right.
And people are guessing that is when she finds out it's Monica who's been making these fake names and not paying her bills and suing Beauty Lab and all that stuff.
Oh my goodness.
So exciting things to come for Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. What we had Blake from Bachelor Nation, don't know his last name.
Horseman, yeah.
Horseman is having a baby with Gianna.
Yes.
From Love is Blind.
Right.
Didn't even know they were a couple. Didn't even
Yes,
know.
you did.
Okay, well, I forgot. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sue me.
Okay.
So, anyway, they're having a baby. So, that's news. That's like worlds colliding there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is like super heavy on the Kyle, Mauricio storyline.
Yeah.
Let's see. Potomac never misses for me. I love Potomac.
Yeah.
Love all the girls on Potomac. And Miami is pretty good. Miami's been pretty good too. But that's pretty much it. 90 Day Fiance is kind of dying down.
Okay.
I think that's all I have.
All right. What a spectacularly quick recap of what's happening in Brooke's Buzz. Speaking of quick recaps, we don't want to belabor we don't want to spend too much time on all the other shows. We're going to have the Thanksgiving holiday edition. Maybe we'll do something special for the Thanksgiving episode of the podcast. But we'll cover, I think, more of F-Boy Island.
Yes.
And Villains.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot to say about those, and we'll be caught up fully on both of those coming to Thanksgiving week. But we have been watching those. We love New York. We love... Well, we'll save it for them. And... we'll save it for then. Let's talk really quickly about Amazing Race. We've missed a couple. We're caught up, but we haven't got a chance to talk about that. The Black brothers, they've been surging. The Tech brothers, they surged.
They've been doing great.
Robin and Chelsea, the moms, are kind of up and down, all over the place, and where they're finishing, but they are consistently have attitudes.
My issue with them is that they are unwilling to help any other team, but they continue to follow the brothers and trail behind them. They literally, they're like, oh, we don't need to ask for directions. We'll just follow them.
Right.
And the brothers were getting very annoyed with them this week, understandably so,
right.
To where they were just kind of like, hurry, like, let's try to lose them.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not on board with them. But I will also say, unfortunately, Steve and Anna Lee have gone way down in the rankings.
Yeah, we're done
as
with
well.
Them. We can never fully be done with them because they're from Texas, but
she just has a bad attitude.
Yeah.
And they were like losing, and she was like, just the most pessimistic.
Yeah.
And then, oh my gosh, she made her dad climb all the way up the stairs.
Yeah.
For the express pass when it was already taken.
Yeah.
There was a sign there that said it was taken, and she still made her dad run all the way up those stairs, despite her dad being like, I don't think I can do it. This is too hard. Which he did. Way to go, Steve. You're awesome. You rock. You did it. But still.
Yeah.
Oh, it breaks my heart to see old people struggle. It breaks my heart.
Well, yeah. He's doing a great job. They need to get it together. They don't communicate well. They could win by a fluke, but it's been, they're just not good communicators.
What did her dad said something? He said something along the lines of like, "This is more. We've learned more about each other in this time than the whole 20 years.
28 years.
28 years. That's saying something.
Well, yeah, this Amazing Race is a lot different than your everyday life,
right? And
you probably learn a lot more about how the partners handle stress.
True.
So yeah, the brothers are doing great. Rob and Corey are very entertaining. I think they'll go far, and I'll be happy to see them go far. We lost the sisters. They were also kind of poor communicators, but they were very funny.
It was time for them to go.
Yeah, they did
make us laugh with their bickering.
Yeah,
but it also was taxing.
She would say all the time, "Lena, what are you doing?" She was so rude.
I will say though, she did seem to have it a lot more together than Lena.
She did, but it was like in a. was a very rude way
how
she would address that.
For sure.
So Amazing Race is still going on, and the destinations have been fine. I mean, been great. Ljubljana in Slovenia looked beautiful.
Yeah, you were like oohing and awing over it.
Yep.
I was scared with that airplane situation.
The glider was
really
cool.
was scary.
And I forget the name of it. It's called colloquially the Pink City in India, and Jaipur, India. Very cool destination. They did a lot of cool stuff there. Mm-hmm. So they've had some good routes. It's been a good race. We've got to see some, with commercial flights, we got to see people jumping ahead. We got to see people taking trains they miss it and catch. That's what makes the show fun. That's what makes it topsy-turvy. You don't know who's going to win. Mm-hmm. So it's been a good season. Are there any other shows besides the finale Big Brother that we've been watching that we need to cover? I think that's it. So let's get to it. It's a shame. The season wasn't as exciting. It didn't finish on as much of a bang as we would have liked.
I think lost a lot of steam. Once Jag and Matt started steamrolling the house, it just lost so much steam.
Yeah, it was the last moment of genuine oh, this is cool was when Jag and Blue engineered the surprise double nomination of Corey in America.
Yeah.
That sent Corey home. But since that moment, it's been downhill. Mm-hmm. And of course, we're talking about Big Brother, if we haven't made that clear. It's one of our favorite shows. This season was... Okay, let's do this. How would you describe season 25, the most recent season of Big Brother, in one word?
In one word?
Yeah, one word. And then, we're going to say many more words about it. This podcast won't be over, but just set the tone. What would you say?
Silly.
Yeah, silly is that's apt. I would say underwhelming. I guess. I'm happy for Jack. He deserves to win. He went on he broke the record for veto wins, if I'm correct. Yeah. And doing that after being eliminated.
But what did Cerie say? She was like, yeah, he won, but he was playing against elderly
right.
Like, what did she just basically quote, tore everyone down?
I think what we all feel, it just wasn't strong or strict competition.
Yeah.
Or tough competition is what I meant to say. There's so much, since we've missed so many episodes that we could say. I guess we didn't get to talk about Corey in America, did we?
I have no idea.
I can't remember if we did, but let's just go. We'll work backwards then. Our shockingly, and I guess maybe we shouldn't be shocked, the winner of America's Favorite Player was Corey. No, I meant to say Cameron.
Cameron.
And maybe it's not, because he did have the kind of going against the grain.
And I know someone who really enjoyed his diary rooms.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that is it too.
And I will say, if we're honest with ourselves, early on he kind of was a creep. He kind of sucked. But halfway through the season, both of us were like, man, I wish he hadn't been as weird or lame at the beginning, so we could actually like him. Remember, I know I said that.
Yeah. So, I think that his creepiness, I think it's almost like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he leans into it a little bit.
And less like a true creep. You know what I mean?
I can think also he's misunderstood.
Yeah.
I was just having in the real world conversation about first impressions. When you don't know someone, those first few interactions with them, because you don't know them,
right?
You might misinterpret and be like, "Oh, this person thinks this,"
right?
But then you spend tons of time with them, which we have. It's a parasocial relationship, but we've watched them on live feeds and seen them a lot more,
right?
And you get context on who they are.
True.
So he won America's Favorite Player. Matt won second place. His speeches and the way he answered his questions and the decisions he made about not getting out Jag, he deserves second place.
Yeah.
He was really not good in the finale questions.
Yeah, he was not.
He started off with some strong points, but couldn't really land the plane.
Right.
His speech was very much team. Me and Jack did this together.
Which I'm not sure what his angle was there.
Yeah, and he was like, I got to the point where Bowie Jane would take me to the end, and the other person was a guy I saved, so I was safe. I played a great game. And it's like, yeah, that's good, but he should have hammered that more, and he didn't.
Yeah.
He got lost in the, me and Jack made decisions as a team. So then when the winner big brother, Jack, gets up there and said, all of your bloods is on my hand. I made every decision for myself. It could have backfired. It didn't.
Yeah.
He won. Sari and Felicia did not like that. They voted for Matt.
Yeah, they didn't.
But it wasn't enough votes.
I wonder what that is about. That they were the ones that voted for Matt. Because even Sari, it's almost like they didn't like that Jag had so much power.
Yeah.
So they were like, well, we'll just vote him out. But because Matt was telling Sari, you're good with me, you're not going up, and then he put her up. And it's kind of just like, aren't you mad at him for that? Or I guess she's like, no, I respect his gameplay.
At the end of the day, I think she was just closer to Matt and won.
Well, that's true. And he did confide in her a lot.
Right. I think she wanted, if she could, she just wanted Matt to win. But
yeah.
I don't even remember the final vote count. I think it was 6-2. No, 5-2.
5-2, because there was only 7.
Right. So
it was exciting on. So sorry, I'm getting sleepy. It was exciting on finale night when they revealed Jared and Sari. People were genuinely shocked.
Yeah, but it's also explains so much of their gameplay.
Yeah.
They're gonna look back and realize and see that the Jared, Izzy, Sari, and then on the periphery, Felicia, and why that was so strong.
Yeah.
Because of a literal familial bond.
Right.
And and since they didn't know, they were so confounded by Sari. And she even admitted it. It hurt her gameplay. You know, she was doing things that was bad for her, good for Jared.
Right.
That upset people she was close to.
Right.
So, you're right. That was fun seeing that. Bowie Jane.
I can't.
That's about it. I literally think that's all I'll say.
I don't. Yeah, like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say other than
Jack, my question is, how did your game change for the better, I think, when you decided to join the mafia with me and that? I think I didn't even have the heart to watch an interview she had with Red and I think, but I just I read the comments and she basically said, they were like, why would you vote for Jag after all that? He said, I don't care. She said, I just didn't care.
I don't care?
Yeah, just like, oh, it's no big deal. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
Bowie Jane, I think if you saw how her parents in her video from home, they looked like they had some money. She's fine. She's a barrister. She's a lawyer by profession. She'll be fine.
Well, I guess it just seems like she didn't ever really play the game, or she didn't know what she was doing. I mean, nobody comes in as an expert and knows what they're doing, but it just seemed like she didn't really care, I guess. But then also she won some things, so then that was kind of confusing. Like, okay, maybe she does kind of care.
But half of the things she won was by accident. She literally won tiebreakers where it was basically just a guessing game.
That's embarrassing for
Here's
everybody
the thing.
else. That is embarrassing for everybody else.
Here's the main indictment and why people, if she had played a purposeful game, she won 3 she won more HOHs than I think most people, than anyone I think in the house this year.
Yeah.
So there's a way, but no, Bowie Jane literally never played for herself.
Yeah.
It was always just to not make waves, not do anything. She never played to advance her game. Even at the end, she never made a move to really advance her game. It was just to like not play the game.
Yeah.
So it's hard to really have anything to say about her.
Well, I always go back to that one big house fight they had where she was like, oh, I'm not in this. She was there, but she's like, oh, I'm not in this. I'm not in this.
I'm
like,
just observing.
That says it all.
Yeah. Production, I'm begging you, please don't cast people like Bowie Jane anymore. And it happened with Sam, and maybe you can't really predict this, but like figure whatever you thought she had, she didn't have, and please find some indicators to never put someone like that on TV.
Wait, Sam, like West Virginia welder Sam?
Oh. She didn't play the game either, and it was a little better, but maybe it's because I'm from the South, and so I just could tolerate it a little bit more. But she was not playing. Bowie Jane did not come to play. Matt, who ate the cereal on season 7, is that season 17, I think? He didn't come to play.
Oh my gosh.
Just please don't do that anymore. You know who you should cast? Kat.
Yes,
and Olivia.
Get Kat in the Big Brother house and Olivia.
Yeah, get people like that in the house. Get people. I saw this comment, so I don't remember who commented, but it's a common sentiment. Get people who are broke, who have got bills to pay when they get out the house, who had to terminate a lease and quit a job and don't have anything to come back to, who love the show, but are also not trying to be influencers, so they don't care what they do. Get that energy back, and get maybe 1 or 2 recruits, but make those people be people who are really competitive or really have a big personality that's not fake.
Yep.
Just no fakeness.
Yep.
My nose is getting stuffed up.
Brooke is on her yawning.
Is on her 6th yawn.
I'm exhausted. It's time to wrap it up.
With this triumphant return back to the podcast mics, we're gonna bid the 23rd episode of the People's Rose adieu. Thank you for listening. If you've made it this far, we thank you, and we hope that you get to hear us next week and the weeks after that. You can follow us on social media. Those will be active again. Those won't be dead. We'll be posting clips and just insights on the shows as we watch them. And then you can continue to listen to us on any podcast app that you can find. Make sure to rate and review us because that really helps us. And if you're watching on YouTube, we're gonna hopefully get these videos out. Who knew it was hard to be a YouTube editor?
Who knew?
But if you're watching us there, I'll say it. I'm not afraid to. Make sure to like and subscribe.
and leave nice comments.
No, just leave any comments. Any engagement is. We're at the point where even if you got a scathing review, leave that. That'll get the drama started. But thank you for listening. And bye.
Bye.